Okay, yeah. So I am going to be painting, A7 size paper today. You guys can use A6 or A7. And I'm using the Zen Sangam Polaroid gouache papers. I would like to speak a little about the paper before we get started. I want to know if have any of you guys used this paper? Are you using it, or are you using it today?
No, we
No? Okay. So I'll
No, I
just
haven't
start.
used it.
I'm sorry.
No, I haven't used this one.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just introduce this paper. Zen Sangam recently came out with this paper. There's 4 of them. There you have watercolor, gouache, and acrylics, which are all cold press papers and come in a 300 GSM. As you can see here, you get 24 sheets in a pack. And then they also have a mixed media paper, which is a 325 GSM hot pressed one. So that one can handle a lot more water than the 300 GSM papers. So if any of you would love to try out these papers, they're still available on the website. You can go check out after this video. And yeah, so let's get started, shall we?
ma'am, I'm using acrylic paints.
You're using, I'm sorry.
Actually, ma'am, I am using acrylic paints.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. You can use anything, but I will be using gouache to teach you guys, but anything that you're comfortable with, you can use it.
Ma'am.
Okay, and I'll just introduce you the colors that I'll be using today as well, so that if you want to keep those colors ready, it'll be easier. So then I'm using burnt sienna, crimson red, yellow ochre, burnt umber, golden yellow, black, white, blue, and green. So do you guys need some time to keep your paints ready? I hope all of you all have your pencils and erasers ready as well. So we'll start off by doing a sketch and then start painting. So maybe for like the first 20 to 25 minutes, we'll spend time sketching and then the rest for painting. Are you ready? Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start off by from this bottom. So what you're going to do is draw a very slight line at the bottom. Let me know once you're done with that so that I can move to the next step. Okay, so now where this line right here in the middle, that's where the legs of the teddy will connect. So you're going to have a line drawn upward this way and another line drawn this way. So you should have, is it clear? Are you guys able to see? Should I bring my phone a little closer?
Yeah, please zoom in because
Yes.
we can't see this. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is it-
this is better.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you see this?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So once you're done with this, let me know so we can start again.
Yes, done.
All right. So then from this point here, just draw another line here. Don't draw too dark because you might have to erase it or make changes. So just draw something very lightly. It doesn't have to be perfect lines. Just draw one line here and then another line on this side, but slightly longer than this one. It's just to get that perspective of the teddy. Done? All right. And then now this longer line that you draw, you just make a small, almost oval shape. That's the base of the teddy bear's foot. And once you're done with that, another smaller oval inside, but make 3 petal-like shapes on the top. Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And after you drew that little oval, on top of that, make a semicircle like this. And attach that semicircle to the bottom here. Actually, you don't have to come. Just keep the semicircle till here. Okay. All right. Now we move on to the next leg. So
I am not using these. Battery.
I'm sorry.
There are other remotes with batteries.
Sure.
Okay, I think it's a background noise. Okay, so let's move on to the next leg, okay? So starting here at the base of this line, you draw another oval shape like so. And after that, the same pattern that you made here, try and replicate on this side, a small oval, and then 3 petal shapes on the top. Let me know once you're done so that I can move to the next step.
Done.
Okay, so now from this bottom part here, make a connection and then bring it to this side and connect it here. Don't bring it all the way down, just connect it halfway through the semicircle. Okay.
Yeah.
Now for the body of the teddy bear, what we're going to do is from this circle here, bring it halfway through here to here. And then the same thing on the other side, draw another line. So this should be somewhere around half of your paper. If you're using an A6 paper, make sure it's somewhere around half of the paper. If it's A7, accordingly, make sure it's half the paper so that the body and the head of the teddy bear fits inside properly. Okay, let's move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let's move on to the head. So now you have both the bodies here, right? So connect and make a small little, not a very dark line, but a slight line just to connect both of those together. And once you're done with that, you have to draw a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can take your time here and make it a circle. So I'll show you. Just very slightly draw a circle because you might have to correct it throughout the process. So just slightly draw a head here for the circle. I mean, a circle here for the head.
Hello, dear. Actually, I joined just now due to some network issues. Can you just repeat what you just said before?
Yeah, I can tell you that. So now we've drawn almost 90% of the teddy bear. So I'll start explaining from the beginning. So if you take your paper, at the bottom of the paper, leave about half an inch gap here at the bottom and draw a line. Once you've drawn the line, let me know once you're done so I can explain the process to you.
Yes, my dear, it's done.
Okay. So then and on that line, just in the middle, make a little darker line for the bottom part of the teddy bear. And from there, take a small little arch
Yes.
on one side and then another arch on the other side.
Yes, done.
Okay. And then on the left side, make a small line for the foot.
Okay.
And on the right, a slightly longer line than the other one that you drew.
Okay.
Okay. And then here for the foot, just draw an oval shape.
Okay.
And then inside, make a smaller oval shape, but make the top part, you'll have to make 3 petal shapes for the, so not the toes, but yeah.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Okay. And then make like a semicircle and then attach it to halfway through the foot.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then we replicate the same thing on this side. Draw an oval shape.
Yes.
And then another smaller oval with the 3 petals.
Yes.
Then an outer circle, not a circle, but an outer shape that will come and connect at the bottom here.
Yes, I'm getting it, dear. Thank
Okay.
you. And after it?
After that, 2 lines on either sides for the body.
Yeah.
And then just the circle for the head. The head shouldn't be a perfect circle, just a random shape for now. I'm going to show you once again, okay? So at the bottom of if you take your whole paper, at the bottom, you see I've left a little space here. So do the same thing and then draw a little line. Don't make the line too dark, just very lightly draw a line.
Next.
Okay. And then in the middle of the line, draw a small little line here in the middle and then a line up on this side and another line up on this side.
Next.
Like done. Okay. So now draw a line from this side, a short line from this point to this point.
Next.
Then on the other side, draw a similar line, but little longer. This is a short one, so little longer on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, so from this line, now you should make a small oval shape. Do you see that on the outside? Make that shape and
Okay, next, please.
okay. So inside that oval shape that you drew, make a smaller oval shape, but make 3 petal-like shapes on the top, like this.
Okay, please next.
Okay. And then on top of those two oval shapes, draw another shape like this and attach it halfway through the outside oval.
All right.
Now we'll repeat the same process on this leg. So draw one oval shape, another smaller oval with 3 petals inside. And after you draw those 2 oval shapes, draw another shape on top and attach it to the line here. This is the third shape that you have to draw.
Okay, so I have drawn the sketch.
Okay, okay.
Okay, next, please.
All right. So from this leg, draw a small curved line. And then the same curved line on the other leg as well. From the other leg. Yes, looks good. Looks good. I'm seeing Kirti. Nice sketch.
Yes, my dear, thank you.
Hi, Shivani. Doing good as well so far.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, please can you?
Okay. So now connecting those 2 small curved lines, draw another curved line like this here.
Okay, it's done. Thanks.
Okay. And then you just need to draw that little circle on top. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. You can just draw a random circle for now. We still have to draw the ears and everything.
Okay,
Done?
it's
Can we
done.
go? All right. Now let's start painting the ears. So once you have this shape here, on the top, just make sure that there's like a small gap here. So this is where one ear will come, the other one will come here. So draw a little, again, this doesn't have to be perfect. So just a small little shape there. And inside that, make a smaller shape. Okay. After that, do the same thing on this side. But this ear should be a little smaller, a little bigger than the other ear. So it'll look like this.
Why is it so that one side of the teddy is having a like large proportion and the other side is smaller than the one like?
I'll show you. I'll just show you the original. So if you see here, you can see it's to give that perspective of the teddy, like one side is facing towards the camera, the other side is leaning towards this side. So when you look at the head is leaning towards this side. So that's why the nose, more of it is face towards that side, and this side, the ears are bigger. Here, the eye is small, the ears are small. And but if you look at the leg and the body here, leg part, the body is slightly turned this way. It's like the teddy is facing this way, but the head is slightly turned that way. So just to give that perspective, we're making the one leg bigger, one ear bigger, one eye bigger. So it's just to give an idea. If not, if you can even paint it without having these differences. It's just that your teddy will look like it's facing front. So everything will look equal. So
Yeah,
in this
because
case,
My one is not looking like that. That's why I asked about it. I'll keep this in mind.
Okay, good. That's perfectly fine. It's just for the perspective. You can even have a teddy that looks front facing. So if you're painting it that way, then when we paint the nose here, if you look at the picture, you can see that the nose area of the teddy, there's a lot of distance from this circle to this circle, but on this side the distance is smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the teddy is facing that way. But if you want to paint a teddy that is looking forward, then this part of the nose will be centered correctly. So that way everything will be same. The ears will look the same, the eyes will look the same, the nose will be on the center. So that way you have a front facing teddy, both of which is perfect. So it's fine.
Got you, Nadia. Got the point.
All right. So let's move on to the next part, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. So now, just like I explained in this picture, I am trying to recreate this. So I'm going to keep the distance from the side of the head to the nose a little longer here and shorter on this side. But if you want to paint a front-facing teddy bear, then you can paint this towards the center so that the distance on both sides will be equal. So both are fine. You can paint it either way. So now, see from here to here, there's a longer distance. And from here to here, there's a shorter distance. So I am going to paint a circle. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, just a random shape like that. Done?
Yes, my dear, you can continue.
Okay, so now for the tip of the nose, we're going to draw a smaller circle here. Again, make sure the distance from the tip of the nose here to this is longer and this distance is shorter. And after that, draw another circle here for the eye. And then on this side, because my teddy is facing to the side, the whole eye won't be seen. So it will be just a small part of the eye that I draw. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You can continue.
Now I'll go to drawing the arms on either side. So for the arms, you start here, just a small distance from the body. Start here, and then it'll be narrow here, but as you come down, it'll get wider. So start narrow and then get wider and then make a circle. Not a circle, a curve, and then come right behind the leg. Do the same thing on the other side. You start narrow, you get wider, and then slightly curve it and then attach it to the leg. After that is done, the last thing that we have to do is just draw a tie. So if you want to draw a bow, you can draw a bow here, but I am going to draw a little tie. I start with a line here, bring it down, then a longer line. Then,
Can you please explain the hands part again?
sure. So once you've drawn the head, from the head and the body, just have a little gap here, and then you start drawing the hand. but the top part of the hand will be narrow. As you draw the line, you get wider. So the distance here and here is different. And then once you come to the bottom here, you slightly curve it and attach it, like you bring it to the leg there. So you do the same thing on the other side. You start narrow. So you start narrow and then get slightly wider, curve towards the end, and then attach it to the leg.
Yeah, thank you.
And then now for the other part of the tie, it's not a tie, it's just a scarf. Yeah. So you draw a line again. And then another line going upward. And then attach. That's it. So I'll be using a flat brush like this. Then a round brush like this. Smaller rounded brush. Can you see this? Yeah. And then finally, I'm using this little liner brush for the details. Okay. So we'll first start with painting the body. Is everybody ready?
Ma'am, I am using acrylic colors. So which color I am using?
I'll just tell you the colors once again. You can
Yes,
use
ma'am.
yellow ochre, any green color. There's no particular green color in mind. You can use any green color. Then there's this burnt umber. Then yeah. So yeah, there's burnt sienna, black, white, and a yellow and red shade. So you don't need to have a lot of colors. If you have yellow ochre and burnt umber, we can mix. If you don't have a certain color, you can ask me, and if possible, I'll let you know what colors you can mix, so you can get the color that I'm using.
Okay, ma'am.
All right, so let's start with yellow ochre. We'll go by each part of the teddy so that the colors don't mix. Hi, Shruti. You have a lot of colors. You can use any, Shruti, you can use any yellow ochre color that will match. Yes, between the first one that you pointed. Yeah, the color right next to it. No, on the left. And yeah, that color. You can use that color. So I'll just show you. The main body of the teddy is going to be yellow ochre. So that's what is going to be mainly used. So if all of you have this color, that'll be better. Is there anybody who doesn't have this color?
I don't have yellow ochre color.
What color yellow? Do you have like a bright yellow? What color do you have?
I have lemon yellow.
Yes, lemon yellow will also work fine. Your teddy will be a little brighter, that's it. But so that's okay. Lemon yellow is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna take my yellow ochre paint. At this stage, we're not mixing any colors, so just get the paint on your brushes, and then we'll start with this leg. So just paint. Again, don't worry about making the painting look perfect. You don't have to worry about blending the colors, because this is, if you want to get that vintage feel to it, it's better if your brush strokes are more bold and if your paint is not very mixed. So it's okay if it's not blended, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So this first part here, that's where you're gonna paint.
Yes.
Okay. So again, we're painting the outer side. So just this part here. Okay, that's it. And then once we're done with the legs, what I usually like to do is I usually paint my paintings part by part. So right now I need to wait for these two legs to dry. So while they're drying, I'm going to go and paint the head. So then again, when we work on the leg, the head will have time to dry. So once you're done with the legs, let's just go and paint the head as well. When you paint the head, make sure you don't paint the inside circle, the nose area, just the outside. Avoid painting the eyes. Leave them for now. Okay, so now you have 3 parts of the teddy painted. What I'm going to do is mix a little bit of my yellow ochre and my burnt umber. So you don't want a very dark color. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you guys. Here's my palette. So this color that I have here, I'll take a very small amount. This very small amount of burnt umber there, and I'll just mix the colors. So do you see, I have a lighter color. Once you've finished mixing your color, let me know, so then I'll show you where to paint it. Can I go
Yes,
ahead?
ma'am.
Okay,
I'm done.
all right. So now you take that lighter color and paint the underside of the teddy's foot. Just this part. Use a smaller brush because this you might have to be a little more precise. So use a smaller brush if you have it and paint it like this. And do the same thing on the other side. I'll just explain the whole thing. So we started by sketching a teddy bear. If you can follow along quickly, then I'll help you through the whole process. Okay, so first I started by drawing a little line at the bottom here. And once I drew the line, I drew another line at the bottom here for the starting of Teddy's body. So this is where you'll start building up your teddy bear. So once that line is drawn, you draw another smaller line to this side and another line to this side. And once that is done, from this point, you draw a line outward. You do the same on the other side, but make sure that this line is longer than this line. And once you've done that, you draw an oval shape for this part and another smaller oval on the inside, but make it have 3 little petals on the top. And then you draw another shape like this and attach it to the feet here. You should repeat the same process on the other side. You draw a bigger oval, a smaller oval with 3 petals, and then another shape starting from this point on the foot all the way down to the leg here. After that, you draw a curved line on this side, another curved line on this side. And now for the head, from the point where these 2 curved lines ended, you will draw another slightly curved line here. And using that line as a guide, draw a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just draw a circle for the head. Once you've drawn the head, then you move on to the mouth area, this area. So if in my case here, the teddy is facing to this direction. So more of this side of the face is seen and less of this side. So make sure that the gap from here to this side is longer and from here to here is shorter. So you draw your circle, smaller circle towards this side. And then you draw another smaller circle for the tip of the nose. Then for the eye, this side eye will be slightly bigger and the hidden behind the nose. And for the ear as well, this side will be smaller compared to this side. So you draw like a C shape on this side and then a smaller shape on this side. Same process on this side. After that, for the body, from the head, make it narrow here. And as you draw the line lower, it gets wider. So narrow to wide, and you curve it and attach it to the feet here. You do the same process on the other side. Narrow here, and then bring it wider, attach it here. And then you can just draw a couple of lines for a scarf. If you want to draw a tie, you can draw a tie which is longer. Or if you want to draw a bow, you can draw a bow. Anything of your preference is fine. So that's it. And then for the paint, for the body, I'm using yellow ochre. So the majority of the teddy's body is going to be that color. And then we're going to layer different colors to make it have a shade difference. But the major part of the body of the teddy is going to be yellow ochre. And then I mixed a little bit of yellow ochre and burnt sienna to make a very light shade, because the original burnt sienna is very dark, if you can see here. We don't want it that dark. So you're mixing yellow ochre and burnt sienna together to get this light shade. And that light shade is what I've used to paint the bottom of the teddy's foot. I hope everybody is up to speed till now. Okay, so
Yes,
all right, after you're done with this, now we can move on to adding a little of shading in the head area. So again, use that little, this shade that you used here, the mixture of burnt sienna and yellow ochre. Use that same mix very lightly. Don't take too much on your brush. Very lightly take it and then just lightly brush it on top, on this side, where the face of the teddy is seen more. Focus on that side and just lightly brush it here. Don't take a lot of paint, very little paint. Do you see? So do you see the little shading difference now? That is what we're trying to get. So, and then little slight shading under the nose area, like this, under the mouth area. And then on the other side as well. Don't take too much paint on your brush. Take a little paint, wipe it off on your tissue paper, and with the remaining paint, just slightly brush over the outer side of the head. Do not bring it inside, just out, to show that little slight shadow effect. Has everybody done this? Now, once you're done with that, we'll let the leg and the head dry and we'll move on to painting the body. So again, go back to your yellow ochre color. Take it on your brushes and then start painting the body. Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to mix another shade. Again, you don't have to worry too much about getting the perfect color. It's okay. So you take a little bit of your yellow ochre.
I'm just
And then little bit of black. When I say black, I mean very little. Like, do you see that? Just a small amount of black. And you mix both of those colors together. You will almost get like a grayish color. Do you see this? Okay, this color.
Which colors have you mixed? Black and
Yellow ochre. A lot of yellow ochre and very, very small bit of black, like a dot of black. And don't make the mixture too thick or anything. We just need a little small amount for shading. So you should have something like this, a very light shade of gray. Does everybody have this color?
Yes.
Okay. So once you have that, yes, 1 second, Shruti. You can make it lighter. That color is fine, but just add a little bit more of water so that the mixture is very runny. If the mixture is runny, it'll be fine.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now you take that color and then we're gonna add that to
Is it okay? This color?
running. I think you can add a little more black, a very small amount of black to make it a little bit gray in color. Okay, so now you're going to take that color and this, do you see this part in the leg where the leg and the body meets? You're going to slightly add it. Don't add too much, just very slightly on just that side of the leg. I'm going to do the same to this side of the leg. I'm going to take burnt sienna. Take a little bit of burnt sienna on my brush. This is all I'm taking. Can you guys see? Do you see, like, it's a very small amount. We don't need a lot of it. Again, I'm just going to put it onto my palette and make it very watery. You see that? A lot of water. You don't need a lot of paint, just for the color. And then that color mixture, you're going to take and on this side of the teddy, just slightly bring it upward. Now, let's move on to the head. The head is dry, so you don't have to worry about the paints mixing. So the same mixture of burnt sienna and burnt umber that I used, or not burnt sienna, one second, yellow ochre. The same mixture of yellow ochre and burnt umber that we used to get this gray color here. You use that same mixture. Again, it has to be very watery consistency. It doesn't have to be thick at all. You take that and these shadow areas, the red shadow areas that not red, the slightly brighter shadow areas that we painted, over the top of that, paint using this gray color. Again, don't make it perfect, just randomly here and there. You see, I'm just brushing it like this. It doesn't have to be fully covered, just randomly place it to make the shadow at the bottom a little darker. Take your paint, don't mix it with anything, just the plain yellow ochre paint, and fill in the hands. Paint the other hand as well. Okay. Now we'll let the hands dry and add more details to the leg. The reason I'm choosing to go part by part is because there's a lot of layering that has to be done for this painting. So if you don't let your first layer dry, if you don't let your paint dry between layers, then when you put a new layer on top, it's going to mix together and become a different color. So that's why I do leg, then the head, then body, and then come back to leg. So that way your paint colors will still look different from each other and not mixed together. So now Now that the hands are wet, let's not focus on that. Head is also wet because we use the watery gray color to paint here. So the legs are dry now. So we'll start focusing on the legs again. Okay, so now again, go back to that gray color that you mixed. So now we're going to use that gray to add more depth to this part of the leg. So again, don't make it too thick, just a watery finish on top. Like this. So this part where the head and the body meets, we're going to add shadows to that area. So for now, we focus on this part of where the tie is. So just again, draw random, paint just random lines. You don't have to make it perfect. So just do this. It's just to give that shadow effect there. Once you're done painting that top bit, we'll focus on the bottom bit. So using the same gray shade, this part where the arm connects to the body, just draw a line there. Don't paint too thick, just draw a line to show that there's the differentiation between both the body parts. And then the same thing, the part where the leg and the body meets, draw a line downward. Don't make it too dark, very, very light. Like this. Is everybody done? Hello. Now we'll go back to taking our burnt sienna. We're going to paint the shadows on the arms. So we're going to use the same color that we used before. Take a little bit of burnt sienna. Just put a little bit like this. Make it very watery and loose. Okay. And then this arm here, we're going to add the shadow on that side. Again, don't make it perfect. Let it be random. Should look something like this. And once you're done with that side, we'll go to this side. So the widest part on this hand, the bottom, just add a little paint there. And once you do that, then on top of the hand, small patch of paint there as well.